kills creativity. And for a lot of creators, even the creators that I work with, they say, this goes against everything that content creation stands for. So content creation, the way that the people that I work with, they see it as that it's an expression of myself, my stories, what happens in my life. Maybe you make a vlog, for example. But I believe different. And when I talk to these creators, I often tell them, there's so much more that you can do. It's not just going to ChatGPT and telling, hey, I need a 10-page script, give me this, and we're done. There's so much more possible. So what I want to do with you, I want to take this keynote here to show you some tools that we've been using in the content creation space to come up with ideas, to also work on better scripts and do something that we have to be doing in order to make our content every single day. And lastly, I want to show you something new when it comes down to translating our content. I don't believe we have talked about this yet, but I believe that one of the strongest elements of AI right now is our ability to reach way more people than just those who speak our own language. So the first thing I want to talk about is anything related to ideation. So as you know, and you've probably made a video before, the first thing you need to do is come up with an idea. Now the issue that you have, if I tell you, hey, come up with an idea for a video, or maybe your next marketing campaign, well, most people are going to instantly look at themselves. They're going to be like, hey, what would I like? What do I think my audience likes? Well, first of all, let me tell you this. You don't know everything about your audience. And especially, maybe you already pull in 10 million views per video. Can you really tell what every single one of those people wants to see? I would argue that's a very difficult task. So, to do so, what creators now can do, the next step, now that AI came up, ChatGPT came along, it's like, hey, ChatGPT, give me 20 ideas. But the problem is, ChatGPT still does not use your data. It doesn't look at things like your YouTube analytics and your audience retention data, for example, to understand what points do people like, what do they really want to know. And that's where tools in ideation came into play. Now recently, YouTube themselves have already announced that they have the inspiration tab, where you can just ask for ideas. Well, and since you're working on YouTube, YouTube has the most understanding of your own audience. But I'm going to show you another tool, because it's not just YouTube. YouTube is the platform itself. There's also external tools. So what I'm going to show you is the 4 steps that we now take, and the first tool that we use for ideation. What we do now is we go to a tool such as vidIQ, and I'm mentioning these because I work with the tools, I don't design the tools. But I still want to show you how we, as content creators, or strategists who work with content creators, use these tools. So the first thing that we do is I'm a strategist, so I have to come up with an idea, and I want to teach people how to come up with video ideas. So just like we enter it into a normal ChatGPT or any of the other ones, we just say, hey, I want to make a video about coming up with video ideas. The beautiful thing now, though, and this is already possible, so I encourage you to start using these platforms. You're gonna get an output of video ideas. So, for example, if I type, hey, I want to come up with video ideas, I will have how to come up with video ideas. Which, yes, sounds basic. ChatGPT can come up with that one. Let's be honest about this one. But not everything has to become a how-to video. Maybe your audience most resonates with listicle videos. Listicles is where we give you many tips. So I have 10 ways or 10 tips to come up with video ideas. Or maybe, and this was actual output from the tool itself, which I thought was beautiful. It saw, hey, this channel, when we use money, it seems that people really like it. So I spent $10,000 on YouTube video ideas, or YouTube video titles. Well, that's a great and intriguing title. And I know right now, if I make a video like this one, it will resonate. I myself have a YouTube channel, and I've done some videos where I talked about spending money, and guess what? More views. Because AI can now help us understand, if we insert our own data, what our audience really likes, and what will resonate. Now, unfortunately on YouTube, it doesn't just stop with an idea. You have an idea, but you need to make a thumbnail, because something needs to grab their attention. And if you go to YouTube, and I encourage you later on, go to YouTube and see what is the first thing that grabs your attention. It's not the title, it's a thumbnail. It's something visual, and then you look at the title to then make a decision, do I want to watch this video or not. So I insert the $10,000 one, and I say, come up with something that people would click on. a composition that I can be inspired by. Very simple. We have a man, the eye is a little wonky, but you know, it's AI, you know, it's not perfect. He holds the money, and there's these thought bubbles of the type of ideas. I can tell you that if you look at this, you don't need 10 seconds to read all the text on the thumbnail to understand what this video is going to be about. You can just look at the image and be like, oh, that's about video ideas. So that's a great one. It represents the money. It represents the fact that we're coming up with video ideas. So we get this output. But again, you know, sometimes I like to do things easy. And some creators also like to do this. Maybe you like to do things easy. You can still tell it, hey, create me a script. And the beautiful thing that you have right now with AI is that we cannot just say, write me a script. I'm quite sure you've tried this before, and a script is the most boring thing. But again, what about a script that is adjusted to your audience? What if we start to understand? And this is still a work in process, but if we insert data, if we insert our own scripts from past videos, and then we take the performance of those videos, and we start to really understand what our audience likes, we can create scripts like this. And the beautiful thing is that we can also say, hey, and this is what you can do with this tool, I want a 3-minute video, maybe a 5-minute video. Or, I mean, on YouTube, they like expected watch time per impression, which means make people watch for longer. Maybe you want a 60-minute video. Guess what? You can now ask for scripts. So that's one of the things that we've been doing, and this is an example from vidIQ. But there are many more tools, and every single week there's somebody trying something new. So that's what we do with content creation. And I would argue that this, since we're still a little bit involved, is still creativity. Now, we're going to take a step further. Again, I said earlier, AI doesn't always get the respect from all content creators, because it stands against what we want. I recently worked with a person, and they write these scripts, these little episodes. If you look at TV, and you look at an episode or a movie, how many weeks, how many months, or maybe even a year do people have to write a great script? Well, movies that typically, you know, there's a lot of movies that have over a year even. Well, content creators is a little bit different. We've got about 2 days. Because every week we're expected to upload something great, because else we become irrelevant. And this is true. Because if you're not part of somebody's weekly cycle, you know, they're not going to watch you anymore. They're going to watch something else. So the need for really good scripts at such an impossible time frame is crucial. So now what we do is, I tell creators, you can still, and this is the script writing process, I tell them, okay, you know what, how about this? How about we don't let AI write script because we still want the personal touch. That does not mean you cannot use AI. You simply ask it to be very theoretical for you. This is one of the prompting styles that I really like, is either ask it to analyze your script or ask it to analyze it theoretically. I want you to try this yourself. It's a really great way to get a better understanding too. So that's the fun thing, is now what we can have is we can insert a script, and rather than the iterative process that we need in order to make this script good and resonate with our audience, well, AI can, and this is possible with ChatGPT, it can point out, look, you've got some Deus Ex Machina, you've got some protagonist issues, your antagonist issues as well, or maybe there's some illogical story beats. All of these things can be pointed out. That's the thing, right now when we talk about AI, we talk about AI doing it for us. It's not just about that. Sometimes it's simply helping us or critiquing us. And for content creators, we use this. But again, this is not necessarily something new. You've seen this before, and maybe you could have come up with these conclusions. But the last part of this keynote that I want to show you, and I have a little video prepared for you, is something that actually is able to get us billions of views. This so far, yes, we can optimize a video, get it from like 10 million views to 20 million views. But what if you want to score 1 billion views, not just on your channel, but maybe per month? And maybe this doesn't apply to you, because there's only so many people on Earth, and if you want everybody to watch your videos, maybe 1 billion is a little far-fetched. But I want you to think, maybe you only score 10,000 views, or you have an advertisement that you push towards 100,000 people. Don't you want to be able to reach more people? And that's what the next thing is going to do. Recently, we've been getting into dubbing in the content creator space. And to give you an idea of the power of just simple dubbing, and this is manual dubbing. If you have a video that scores about 20 million views in a certain time frame, right, which is a typical video, once you start dubbing, And this is currently with manual dubbing, which is very expensive. The time it takes, like I said, every week you can get an upload, but sometimes dubs take 2 weeks. So it's a messy business. But right now, if you do that, you can take 20 million views to 100 million views on a single video. And I don't ask you to believe me, I ask you, go to Stokeslands, go to Mr. Beast, go to those channels and see the amount of views they pull right now. Because they're targeting a wider audience. So, in the next video, I'm going to demonstrate you, and I'm going to already give a disclaimer. This is not perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect yet. But I want to show you what we can do with AI already. And this is the first step. Because what I don't want to see when I go to an entertainment video, I don't want to hear some robotic voice. I want to hear my voice. I want AI to take my personal voice, try to interpret what that is, and then translate it into a language that my audience speaks, or the audience that I want to reach speaks. So, hopefully this video speaks for itself. Mind the lip syncing, it's still being worked on, but this will excite. Oh, that's right. I'm gonna let the technical stuff work.
My name is Matt, and today I'm excited to share that you can reach a wider audience with AI dubbing. It doesn't matter what language you speak, or what language your viewers speak. You can now translate your content into any language you want. So no matter where your target audience is from, they will always be able to understand what you are saying. Здравейте, казвам се Марио и днес съм развълнуван да споделя, че можете да достигнете до по-широка аудитория с AI. Няма значение на какъв език говорите или на какъв говорят зрителите ви, сега можете да преведете съдържанието си на всеки език. Така че, независимо от къде е вашата аудитория, те винаги ще разбират какво казвате.
Now again, this is not perfect, right? And I can tell you, there's only one word of Bulgarian that I actually know. I know how to ask an invoice. That's all I know. I know factura. I mean, I'm a foreigner, you know? This is important. So what I encourage you to do is, I encourage you to explore this yourself. You know, these tools, the beautiful thing about this video is that this didn't take me 2 weeks. I had to go, this was done by Dub, which is a newer company. It's an amazing company. I recommend you to check them out. And I just had to insert my video. And I would recognize my voice and, you know, make me say more than factura. So, thank you so much for listening. I hope you're excited about content creation as well.